Ryan in San Bernardino, excuse me, home of the San Bernardino Wolverines junior college program. Very good basketball team.
I did not know that.
Ryan, what's happening?
I did not know that.
Hey, my dudes, miss you guys, man. Happy Victory Monday.
What's up?
Hey, my friends, just some quick rapid fire here. I love our fan base because they're so right about our D-line. Like, you watched Hutchinson yesterday, he was hounding everything. Bosa, it's always a chip here, a chip there. It's like, we just need you to step up, bro. I know your effort's high, but step it up. Gregory never makes any plays, like, never. Chase Young, king of getting close, but not making the sack.
It's true.
Talk about Debo. If he plays this week, I hope they just use him as a decoy. And if they do that, I hope he runs full speed on those motions so people actually think he's getting the ball. Greenlaw, everyone's talking about get down, but the dude had 2 picks in the playoff game. I think that's really huge. Purdy, first ever. Like, we were 0-30 down 7 going into the fourth. What he did, I don't know if it's quite as good as what David Lombardi said. Like, it was his Montana moment. But, damn, if he didn't have his moment, we're sitting at home. So I'm very excited about that. Embry Thomas deserves a little bit of grace. He had a bad game, but I feel like he had a great season, and he has a track record a couple years ago at the Rams game, just making a big play in big moments. And honestly, Lenore made the biggest hit on the quarterback all day yesterday when you pushed Love out of bounds. That was the first time I felt like Love even knew that there was a defense out there. Mm-hmm. And finally, Gibbs, he's a problem. Not just him, but the fact that Ben Johnson is scheming up those plays. Like, we really got to come locked in, ready to play. But, God, we're right on the brink, man.
Right on the brink. Right on the brink. Right on the brink.
You know, it's the D-line. Today isn't the day to go full crazy on this, but you and I have had this conversation. Personally, if this is the last we see of the wide 9, I wouldn't be mad at that because I'm kind of – it makes me angry watching teams just gash us in the run game. And that hasn't been the case the entirety of the time, but it feels like whether it's the personnel fitting the scheme not fitting the modern game, I don't know what it is, but I'm open to some new ideas on the defensive line to open things up. I don't think this was a great year for Bosa for a variety of reasons, but if you want to maximize your money with him, like they gotta change it up. And to spend the amount of money they spent on Hargrave and Armstead. Now, Hargrave did have a really nice pressure at one point in the game on a 3rd down to cause a field goal attempt for Green Bay. But like it's not enough bang for the buck for me.
When it comes to the wide 9, I mean, the Niners just gave up a 100-yard rusher for the first time in 51 games.
They've been blowing teams out, though.
They have, but still, they shut down the run early, and they make teams one-dimensional. That's part of football. Teams have struggled running the ball against the 49ers. Now, as a team, there's been some games, there have been some outliers where teams, they haven't given up a single 100-yard rusher, but running backs by committee, quarterbacks, they'll get their yards. Like Arizona. Like the Cleveland game. Good. Arizona averaged like 7 yards a carry in that football game. I'm thinking to myself, man, what the hell is going on? The point is, Bosa and that defensive line, at some point, it just becomes about pride. Are you going to allow yourself to get blocked? Are you going to fight through the blocks? Are you going to fight through a chip? Are you going to contain on the outside? Are you going to get after the quarterback? If your power move's not working, what about your speed moves? What about your swim moves?
Can I get
what about some stunts? I don't know what's going on with this defensive line, but that is a concerning issue. Even if they get past Detroit, you can't get pressure on Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. You're going to get cooked and blown out of the football field.
Bosa blew up one tight end on a run play where he had a tackle for loss. But like, I just in that game in particular, and maybe I'm just super focused on Bosa, and maybe I'm not being fair. But I don't see T.J. Watt getting blasted by wide receivers as much as Bosa. How are you unaware that they're chipping you over and over again?
I mean, he's
got to move it up a little, or they got to move him around. And he went to the left side. I saw him on the right side. I mean, he moved around a little in terms of what end he was on, but like not knowing that he's going to get stood up by a running wide receiver in a run game. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know what's going on with this defensive line. Now the defense again bent, but they didn't break. Right? They bent, didn't break, didn't give up a point in the fourth quarter. They get credit for that. They get credit for the 2 interceptions. They get credit for not allowing Green Bay to just walk into the red zone and score touchdowns on the first 2 possessions. But overall, something's amiss with this defensive line, and it's a trickle-down effect. We always talk about it with the Golden State Warriors, right? You blew the number 2 pick with James Wiseman, and who the hell knows if James Wiseman's ever going to be a good player. But it doesn't work out. And not having that number 2 pick on your team now contributing is hurting the Golden State Warriors.
Yes.
Joey Bart not, developing as a catcher or as a cleanup hitter for the Giants is hurting the Giants right now. Now, you got to move on. But basically what I'm getting at to is the trickle-down effect from drafting Solomon Thomas and then trading DeForest Buckner. And then you keep reinvesting in the defensive line, whether it's Javon Hargrave, whether it's a first-round pick for Javon Kinlaw, whether it's trading for Trace Young, whether it's trading for Randy Gregory, whether it's signing Day off the street in the last month of the season. The trickle-down effect of whiffing on defensive linemen, it's reared its ugly head again in 2024. And right now, this defensive line, like Chase Young, I remember after the first game he played Jacksonville, everybody's ready to pay Chase Young. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Let me see it.
Is this defense, like this year, has this been one of the best Shanahan defenses during his run?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But this was a year where the Niners offense needed to pick up this defense, and they did it for the most part. And at the end of the day, the defense only gives up 17 points a game.
Well, I just think, I agree with that. When you're paying 40 to 45% of your salary cap on D-line, I need more output. I think is where I'm
there's no doubt. The most expensive line in defensive line, somebody brought up DJ Jones, losing him. DJ Jones
is a big loss.
DJ Jones was a huge loss. You haven't replaced him yet. So this
Armstead looked
line,
compromised.
Well, yeah, he's banged up with the foot and the knee, and that's not good.
He was huffing and puffing early in that game, and I was like, because he hasn't played in so long. And then, Kinlaw had a moment here and there, but he gets pushed around a lot too.
That's a problem going against Detroit because Detroit will run the football.
Their offensive line is legit. I thought the Packers' offensive line did a really good job. I thought Love had good feel for the pocket as well.
So this defensive line, man, that's my biggest concern. Not the quarterback, not the head coach. It's the defensive line getting pressure after the quarterback is stopping the run.